We already know what is coming.
Yeah, he loves his walls.
Yes, indeed, he does. And the Civs, Mines versus Aztecs.
G-Man on his home map going as Aztecs. I always love to see Aztecs on Arena. I mean, some people might find it boring because it's kind of the typical Arena Civ, but it's just fascinating how people try and counter it, how people try and make it work. I think it's really interesting. The only thing that's kind of a shame that the tactic is a hit or a miss. Like either your mush is going to work out, or it's going to fail, and from now on, it's either GG or it isn't.
Well,
Then
that's
you can't
yeah.
be screwed over.
Somebody quote that. You already got a quote, by the way. That's this is Woobly. Your mangonels don't have power here.
Oh,
Very
man.
good quote.
Isn't that my third quote? I believe I have ID 69 available to me. Anyway, so
let's talk about the map.
You want to kind of delve into this matchup or the maps first? Choice is yours.
I'll go with the maps first, and then you can maybe go into the matchup.
Sure.
So starting off with Gmans. So far so good. He has a nice back base with 2 stone and 2 gold. Also really easy to wall off if he wanted to, with just 1 palisade or anything. Also got both of his boar in his base. That's good. The only thing that is not really that good is he's got 1 gold close to the wall. Although I gotta check here, maybe that is even walled off. It could be very easily walled off. And then his main gold is, well, it's still somewhat close. Could be very easy to pressure that, although it's not reachable from the walls. Yeah, I like his map. Other sides, for Spear, he's got a bit of an awkward base in my opinion. It looks rather long and stretched. No back base, so that's also not really that good. His main gold is really nice though. It's pretty far away from the walls. Nicely thick there. 1 boar outside. Yeah, I think G-Man's definitely got a better map here.
Yeah, I agree on you with that one. And that's actually going to be fairly important in this matchup. Because if you're looking at Mayans versus Aztecs, obviously Aztecs is kind of the mush civilization of Arena. You have other civs with which it work, but Aztecs simply having that grade bonus where you get additional HP on your monks for everything you research, it just makes a great monks plus siege push. And with that amount of aggression on Arena, your map is going to be very important. And if I was Spear, I wish I had G-Man's map right now, because if you have Backstone to rely on as mains, 2 additional golds in the back, then you can drag out the game for a very long time. You just get a defensive castle up. You kind of want to go Plumes as mains on Arena in general, and especially against Aztecs, a defensive castle is kind of nice, as it's hard to work around. But then G-Man's map would just be insane. So G-Man is actually kind of lucky that he got his map, not Spear, because Spear would have had one hell of a good time defending on it. But now Spear, even though you said his main gold was in kind of an okay spot, because it was tucked inside his walls quite a bit. And you're right on that one. That it isn't like a castle drop is going to damage that gold. But the problem is, it's still forward. And the mush, at least a reasonable one, is going to get inside your wall. So then it doesn't matter too much whether it's hugging your wall or not. It's whether it's in the back or not. So still a really awkward gold spot. So Spear's map really awkward in general. So he really needs to wisely consider where he's going to put his castle, because only these resources have this kind of guaranteed protection going on. And then considering in this matchup, I guess the relics are something to point out as well. I only see 4 so far, actually 5 right now. There's 2 in Spear's base, so that's a little bit of luck for him at least. Yeah. And the other 3 are kind of in the middle.
I would say, yeah, the first 2, one is in the middle, I would say, 2 pretty close to G-Man still. Oh, interesting. Spear's milling his deer. They're pretty far outside of his walls, but he could have taken the effort to push them. Maybe he's like being just very lazy.
kind of important to do such a thing on Arena, because you kind of know what to expect with the civs. You kind of know what the maps look like anyway, so I don't really like him using his scout for something else than pushing there at this point. And he is a weird build order in general, being massively on berries right now.
Yeah, also...
He's on stone, so he's going for the castle, but...
4 is a little much. I thought that 2 in Dark Age and then add 2 in Feudal, something like that, but certainly not 4 in Dark Age.
He's very early adding 4 on stone. Relic actually kind of makes it awkward as well. I love it. The moment you think you can be happy with a relic inside your walls, but it's more of a burden.
Yeah, right now it is, yeah. And Spear up to Feudal Age, but a good minute behind.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you want to see from Aztecs, because 23 Vil, up is kind of, you should be able to pull it off with the Marker Blacksmith into Monastery, and that should be a really quick monk build, because you want to get that aggression in ASAP, obviously. And if you want to drop a castle the minute you hit Castle Age, then obviously your Castle Age is going to be a bit later.
Yeah. Looking at the resources. I would say Gmans is still pretty far away. I don't think he can get a perfect castle time here.
What he's going to do here, he's going to sell his stone.
Oh, right. Forgot about that.
And buy food with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The common monk rush build.
Yeah.
The guy who thought of it first is a smart guy, in my opinion, because it's an all-in strategy, so it works really well in such a scenario to actually do it. And we see that he's even able to go up without selling his stone.
Nice, yeah. Unexpected for me. Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking whether he idled his TC here or not, because I feel like that is really hard to pull off with.
He did 23 plus 2. So I don't think he did, yeah.
Kind of impressive in my opinion.
Yeah.
For him to put it off. I guess he practiced a lot on this one. I guess we'll be seeing more Arena from him in future home maps.
No, Gmans is hands down an Arena player.
Yeah, that's coming rather obvious right now. And now Spear's up to Castle Age, but once again, a solid minute later. And that minute can make a whole lot of difference. It just gives its Aztec player some time to set up. He's looking kind of healthy on the stone count. He will be able to immediately drop a castle when going up. And I'm kind of curious where he's going to drop it, because he could drop it in between his main gold and his stone. He could do it a bit more towards his TC and his main gold as well. I'm kind of in doubt where I would put it if I was the main player in this scenario. I think at least close to some gold.
Yeah, I would surely put it on the gold. Because the stone isn't that necessary. One castle is already pretty nice to mess up some plumes. So yeah, I would put it on the gold. Yeah,
actually you could consider like dropping it on the left gold and cover your wood line as well. But on the other hand, if you expose your town center, you're getting in kind of an awkward situation as well. So I think maybe the main gold in front of the TC is the best way to go.
Yeah. So, interesting. Look at the placement of the monasteries for our Gmans. And the barracks as well.
Yeah, it seems like he wants to take a surprising angle in this scenario. I'm kind of curious what he scouted. He doesn't know where the main gold of Spear is, but he does know that Spear is on stone right now, and he probably wants to make sure he's denying that one as well. He's already even adding a barracks at this point, which is very early. And also kind of interesting, because usually you add a barracks because you expect scouts to come out maybe. But obviously Aztecs, Mayans being a Mesopotamian civ,
no, I think it's rather the meta to add a barracks anyway, even if you are Aztecs versus Aztecs, just to counter the Eagles as well.
Yeah, I suppose it's to deal with the Eagles. I can understand. What I do not really understand, though, is Spear adding a TC on his main gold right now, rather than dropping the castle immediately.
Maybe he's... oh, wait. Oh, of course. Yeah. He does have the stone for a castle, so he could get another one in front of the gold, but...
I don't like him delaying his castle, because if your enemy has more monks than you have plumed archers, then you're already in a poor position, so... You kind of want to make sure Oh wow, Monk just being healed enough, by the way.
Nice, yeah.
You kind of want to make sure you get as much blooms out as possible, as early as possible. So I don't like the TC delaying it another 100 stone.
But yeah, G-Man's early enough to grab his the relic that was farthest away, and now he will have all the time in the world basically to get the other two. So it should end up 3 for G-Man's, 2 for Spear. That is, if Spear is even gonna grab his relics. And I thought with Mayans it's no, never. I don't know, but he's surely not gonna rush it. It looks like he rather wants to get the plumes out.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of delay these relics, because the relics are a little bit of a long run game tool, unless you're going to get all 5 of them. And to be honest, if you are surviving in the long run in this game, you're in a very solid spot as the Mayans, because if the smash is going to fail, then your eco should be by far superior, and you should have a huge advantage from now on. Kind of curious how interesting, sorry. How G-Man doesn't really have any info on the castle, so he might push straight into it, and that's going to cost him a whole lot of valuable time.
Yeah, that Spear just walling off, and that is a good thing to do versus a smush. He could even consider getting his own Siege Workshop and Mangonel, because it's not the only one Mangonel coming out for G-Mans. Then you can just wall off, sit behind your walls, and yeah, defend with the Mangonel.
Yeah, obviously getting your own Siege Workshop out, it is kind of nice if you can snipe a Mangonel from the enemy, but you need to be so careful, because you know that Redemption will be researched by the Aztecs, as you can see right now.
Yes.
Kind of necessary, but the stone walls, if he can wall off all the way with his castle, even though he's not on stone anymore, that's kind of a shame. If he walled off all the way, he's taking so much time from G-Man over here, and delaying the mush. It's all about surviving and getting your better eco going, because you invest everything if you smush, and there's probably no TCs being added by G-Man. No, there's not.
Yeah, but look at
this is all he's going to have this game.
Yeah, look at what Spear is doing. It's nothing. He's not adding any plumes. He's not finishing his walls. He's not getting a. He's just letting. Yeah, there you go. Eagles in. Although, yeah, with the castle, G-Man doesn't want to take that. Maybe he.
It's almost lucky that the castle's in a good spot here.
Yeah, but G-Man's gonna just walk around and try it on another spot. Now Spear will need some units, and wow, finally queuing up some plumes. Thank goodness my plumes do mess up so quickly, so you might end up having some.
Make sure you have 1k gold before you start adding plumes. This is the recipe for failure, I believe, in this matchup.
Yeah, yeah, I don't like that.
But
either.
At least he did get some time with the castle. But imagine if he had like 20 plumes right now, which he could have had by now, then it would have been so hard for G-Man to actually out-micro or micro this correctly with monks. But now there's not really a whole lot going to stop him. There's 5 plumes, but these plumes do not really form a threat against mangonels and monks. Even not against these 5 eagles.
Yeah, only just get Botkin getting out. But Spear's base is pretty small, so you can garrison in a TC, but then with the monks there, and it's a lot of monks. And the 3 mangonels. I don't know, it looks a little bit over, but who knows? Miracles
it's looking bad for Spear, but we still have G-Man in the spot where he needs to deal damage, because obviously he doesn't really have a healthy long-run game. But he's in the right direction, that's for sure. Finally, Siege Workshop for Spear as well. I mean, even though there's redemption for him, if you get the plumes in, you just try and trade the mangonels, and redemption isn't the biggest deal breaker, but now it's just free push.
Yeah, it's also Spear housed for a very long time, so delaying even more plumes coming out, and he does have a fair amount, but versus 4 mangonels, that's gonna be really hard to snipe.
Yeah, not enough.
With
he
that
can
amount
lose
of
some
monks,
builds to get more pop space. I mean, it looks like his current plan, however. Spear really needed to have a bit more pace in this game because Aztecs are strong because they are fast and quick in this matchup. So you need to be the same thing because otherwise you're going to get steamrolled. There's this one Mangonel right now, but that's not going to cut it. There's a great ult that he's going to get converted and actually getting a good trade. And to be honest, what Gman should consider right now is just making his way up to Imp so he can get block printing. Because that way it's going to be
a nice shot, yeah. Nice shot.
So that is something.
It is, but is it enough?
I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, a lucky shot
but
there.
Anyway.
Yeah, maybe if we can get another one of those shots, well, at least one mango, and maybe another one.
Oh. And another one. Okay,
no, I should delete it.
Just delete it. Please get it with the TC or the plumes. You need to do something here.
Yeah.
You cannot give away. He's like, you can have this mangonel. I'll trade one of the two again. That's fine.
Oh, maybe
I like a watchtower of G-Man next to the market.
Yeah, but indeed,
I don't know.
Indeed, Imperial Age coming up. Oh, well, that's one shot. You should just go for the other one. It looks like G-Man doesn't really care about his mangonels, giving it away like for free.
Be careful.
There you go. One more mangonel down.
I'm going for a stroll.
But still, it is... G-Mans is up to Imperial, although he is a lot... No, villager-wise he's behind, although I don't really think that's gonna matter.
This is sloppy, he's not microing the monks really well. Oh, okay, there's finally some converts.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, that's a lot of conversions.
He started a little bit late, but then he picked up the pace and actually got a good amount of conversions. Wow.
10k micro, what the fuck?
When your plumes radio. Ouch. 10k micro.
Yeah, 10k micro. Oh, GG,
he
man.
started a little late, but he had so many monks that the blooms were simply too slow. And with block printing coming through, there was no chance for Spear, to be honest. Yeah, well played by G-Man, and just a really rough map for Spear, because this is not the playstyle he's used to. And Arena is a game on its own.
Yeah, you really noticed how Spear maybe somewhat knew the build order, but definitely wasn't practiced with it. So yeah.
Yeah, he didn't really play on a high enough base to actually stay close, and that was just a bit sloppy.
G-Man's commenting on your comment that the micro wasn't very well. Well, I agree with Wickea, and when you started out with the monks, I mean, killed a lot.
Picked off quite a few for free, but once you got started on a micro, it was really good. I have to admit that one.